Mic check 1 1. Hello, hi, how's it going? Happy Thursday. We are back once again, completing our Sisyphean objective goal of completing the Bargue-Gérôme drawing course. Not much else to say. Been having pretty good day today. It's a little rainy out, but that just means it's the perfect time to draw. I did want to do a little bit of a warm up. I'm not sure for how long I'll be streaming today. It may not be that long of a stream, because I just really want to finish plate number 4, which is the one I'm on. It's the ears one, and have that one done. Because I'm pretty sure I can get it done in one stream, possibly. So I don't want to spend too much time on doing some warm up drawing. I found this reference once again on the public domain website I use every stream, and yeah, I just liked the sort of different shades of black for dress. So that's kind of like what I'm going to try to focus on. But I do want to change the background color a little. Get more of kind of like a toned color back here. So it's just not like white. I gotta clean my glasses. Yeah, I hope you all been doing good. I've been continuing my saga of wrestling with OBS and trying to figure audio stuff and whatnot, and I might be a little bit closer, but I also may be behaving a little bit optimistically. But it doesn't really, I don't think it really matters, personally for me, because I don't normally watch videos or anything on stream, because I'm just drawing. Oops, this should be doing this on another layer. I think I have a tendency, I noticed, watching my previous stream, I have a tendency to draw a little bit too compressed and wide. Like my previous warm-up was a little wider than the original, so I'm trying to make an effort to at least err on the side of like being narrow, or not like stretching it in that direction again, you know? Okay, so I'm just getting the big block shapes out of the way. Oh, this is... my box is definitely smaller than the reference. That's fine, I'll wing it. I will wing it. Another good thing I realized about drawing all these old-timey reference photos is that most of them are in black and white, which is like really good practice for getting tones down, you know, and not getting lost in color too soon, because color is like a just totally different skill that like I've dabbled in, but I'm still working on other skills before I get there, and I don't feel like, because color can forgive so much too in drawing. Like if you add some color to it, it makes the drawing like look like 50% better, which is easy to rely on too much, I think. So that's kind of like also my worry with using color. Like I don't want to rely on it too much. And okay, I'm drawing outside the box a little. That's fine. Yeah, I don't want to rely on it too much and sort of lose sight of what actually makes a good drawing, which, you know, totally debatable what that is. But for me, it's at this stage like the fundamentals of proportion and tone, getting an accurate tone, capturing the essence of the subject. Kind of like getting the gist, I guess. I just realized the dog's expression in this photo. I'm not planning on drawing the dog. I don't know. I've never really been kind of interested in drawing animals. My interest is definitely drawing people more. I mean, I have 2 dogs, and I've drawn them a good amount, but that's really it. Like I won't. Like I've seen books of like anatomy, like animal anatomy, or like how to draw any animal. It just doesn't really interest me that much. Although maybe in the future, you know. After all, humans are animals too. Okay, I think I started adding the tone a little bit too early. She kind of has like a Conan O'Brien hair, cartoon hair style going on right now. I was trying to capture the general proportions of the shape of her head, but instead I kind of drew her with like a pompadour kind of hair. That's fine. The important thing is just to be loose. Just to loosen up. And I have no idea how, but I drew her turned a little bit more towards the camera. Maybe once I draw her eyes, she'll turn, her head will turn back. It's like a cartoon version of her. It's really a whole different experience to draw digitally as opposed to physically, because I really feel like this would look less cartoonish if I were drawing like on paper, because I just don't have the experience of drawing digitally like I do on paper. Like if I were using an actual pencil, I think I could capture the subtleties a little bit more. Maybe my opacity is just a little too high. I was thinking about that, like, how can I add elements of the drawing in gradually, like as if I were working in charcoal, or that might be it. I think there's charcoal, isn't there? Charcoals. Oh, it's way too big. And you can like smudge it. I don't know if it makes a difference. It probably does. I just don't have the experience in Procreate to do it. But anyway, that's not my focus. So last time I was warming up and I was trying to capture like the negative space of like an object on the person's coat, I think. And I ended up just drawing a complete different style coat. So I'm making a conscious effort now to not overdraw and erase that negative space. Because I mean, when you got that negative space, like, it just does so much work that you don't need to do with drawing. Like, it's just like, our brains register it as the image. I'm debating if I should just leave the tone of her dress like this, kind of like just hatches, and not color in the whole thing. It's probably what's the word I'm looking for? I think it probably conveys the same type of information, right? Like I don't know, kind of, you get the sense that her dress is dark without having to go to every single space. Drawing fabrics and clothes too is really not something that I've practiced a lot. It's a whole separate, subject for sure. And I just haven't really practiced it. But it's kind of fun just to kind of like, the folds of the dress, just to kind of like go a little crazy with it. How's it looking? Okay, I think I should go a little bit more down here. Maybe even kind of like to convey the sense of, you know, the light transitioning from dark to kind of like light on the right side of her dress. What else? I think there's too much white here. I gotta darken this area because it's just like indecipherable. Yeah, I think I lost the necklace. But yeah, I think I was kind of right. There's a good amount of variation with the tones in this reference, and it's kind of fun to just kind of like mess around and, you know, apply. I don't know, just like apply color to just differentiate these different spots, you know, and like I kind of just do it randomly. Like I'm gonna bring the opaqueness back up just so I can fill in this part of her arm where it's just like dark, and then I think I should fill in here on the other side of her arm where it's just dark, and up here around the collar, down here, right there where her dress is, and just bring it a little bit, kind of like etching, you know. It's really how I'm used to shading, just because I prefer using pen more often than not to draw. Yeah, the only thing is her head's a little funky. It's more cartoonish than realistic, just because I really just went in and I applied broad strokes to drawing her. But I mean, that's something I learned, I guess. Cartoons make use of broad strokes. Okay, I think, should I try to salvage the face? Add a little bit more detail? Maybe. Let's try it. It's not looking bad. Although her chin is a little bit further back than I drew it. Oh, I forgot to apply tone to under her neck here. I think this is a little lower. just adding it wherever. I mean, it's not perfect, but at least it's done. And I feel like I'm pretty warmed up. I was just really having fun with this. Just trying to like do it in a speedy way. Raise the opacity a little bit more to really darken the edges of the collar here. You can go back and with their hair too. The hair's a little blocky, but it's fine. I think I got the gist of it, more or less. And her finger, I definitely just plopped the line down. But I think, well, kind of looks like she's holding a knife or something. It's a little bit more threatening than the original. But maybe if I try to get her thumb. I don't know. And then her other hands, I'm just gonna leave like that. Not gonna do much else other than add some bits for her knuckles and the part of her sleeve that's over her wrist there. I guess I could darken up the sleeve a little bit more. Oops. I accidentally pressed the home button on my iPad. Okay, I'm gonna stop there before I overdraw it, which I have a tendency to do. What's today? The 13th. 11, 13, 25. Okay. Let's give that title 11, 13, 25. All right, now let's get on to plate 4. It's the ears. Okay, so just gonna adjust this a little bit so I have space on the edges to draw it. I think that's okay. And if anything, I'll just make another one. Maybe I can split it like this. I should move this more. I should do another one. Okay. And figure out like where to fit stuff in. I'll figure it out. Okay. I'll just make the oh. space there. Should be enough. Alright, so I realized last time that these are two sets. So the top one is the preliminary stage and the bottom one is the finished object. So I'm gonna try to copy, I'm gonna try to use the guidelines here. It's just a single line. Like if you see here, it's just a single line down. It's not really much of a guideline, but let's try it. Again, from there. I always have trouble with approximating the width of any drawing. Like, I'm just kind of guessing that that's the correct width. I'm just kind of like eyeballing it. Yeah, that looks around the same as the original reference. Okay, I'm not gonna delete that. I don't know if those straight lines are guidelines or if they're part of the year itself. I think it's part of the year because in the more final version, it's used to indicate where the shadow is. I think I'm a little off here. In general, though, I think I've improved. Like seeing where the spaces between lines to a certain degree. And I think I'm going to try to draw the second more finalized stage separately. Like, so this is kind of like my study of it, and then the second drawing will be of the fully rendered reference. Just so I get a chance to draw twice, because I always do better the second time, I think. Okay, not perfect, but not perfect. Okay, let's try to draw this one. I think it's a little crooked. Let me see if I can fix that. I think it's better. Okay. So following the guideline, the first one, it's just like a line coming down. Let me erase this extra. What's interesting is that they drew the line intersecting a part of the ear here, and I have no idea why they did it that way. Which means it would be like intersecting it here. I guess that kind of gives you a clean line between point A and point B here, like where they're connected. Yeah, I'm not really sure though why they did it that way. Just trying to find the big shapes so I can get more or less accurate proportion going. This time I'm trying to match it with the reference. I'm holding my Apple Pencil like kind of like overhand. I didn't realize I was doing that. Like, I'm not trained in a like academic way, which I think is like the way they teach you to make like broad, big strokes, right? This is no longer a ear to me. This just looks like a bunch of squiggles. But I think that's a good thing. I don't think I want like to be like, oh, this is the ear canal, right? This is the that's the only part of the ear I know. What other what other anatomical names are there for the outer part of the ear? I don't know. The lobe. I think I drew a little bit too inward. And this part has to curve more. And then curve up. And then into the line. And I think I need to go down more than here. Bring this up. To get some hatch marks. Hatch marks. Hatch marks. And what's good is like, this isn't yet the stage where it's like 10 different tones of like black, which I'm kind of nervous about. But I mean, I'm going through the course. Like, yeah, I'll be prepared, right? I'll at least try it. I'll give it my best shot. This is kind of like a kidney bean shape. Oh, hey, what's up, Chicana? Cheers for ears. Cheers indeed. Cheers for ears. Without ears, where would we be? How's it going? How was your day? I think for the next one, I'm going to try a smaller nib size and also a little bit more opaque, or a little bit less opaque, so I can try to get that kind of like pencil, like gradual pencil marks feeling. Because this, I think, is just too many like starter lines that like clog up the picture. Although I could go over in ink to kind of like clean it up a little bit. I could erase it too, but I don't really want to. Like this part in particular, like this left side, this bottom left side is just like a mess. For real, I like my hair. My day was alright. How about you? Yeah, my day was alright. It's a pretty good day. It's a little rainy here. It's raining right now. Like, kind of like off and on. But it's kind of like perfect drawing weather, you know? Okay, I had no idea. I have no idea what I was doing here. This really is just kind of like me just making marks wherever I could find some space here. But you know, it's the first one, so I'm gonna cut myself a little slack. Shape's kind of like pincers. I have no idea what's going on here on the upper part of the ear. No idea. I definitely could do it better. Yeah, I'm gonna try this one again because it's not an ear. Looks like a seahorse, or like a swan or something eating a frog. Brady Night Chill Music Art Vibes. It's 36. It's 36 degrees? Oh my gosh. So it's not snowing, but it's like on the verge of snow. Yeah, that's I just feel cool just thinking about 36-degree weather. I don't know how cold it is over here, but it's probably in like the 50s. Nowhere near 36. Not the seahorse. No, we're going full seahorse. These ears are gonna be seahorses. They're gonna be like optical illusions where you just kind of like put it away from you like a couple of feet and it turns into a seahorse. Okay, let's start. Let me erase these. Okay, let's start with this line again. And okay, I'm pretty happy with this nib size and this opacity, because then I can just kind of like make a bunch of test marks, you know? Which is what I tried doing with the last one, and yeah, the seahorse thing. It looked like it wanted to snow earlier, but I just wasn't sure. It didn't have the confidence yet. Maybe soon. I mean, we're just a couple of weeks away from Thanksgiving. Although it always tripped me up that the start of winter was like December, like 23rd or something, you know? Because, you know, when I think of winter, I think of like December, but it's totally not, you know, it's still fall. And then winter is like from like January to March or something, like March 20th, I think, right? Is the end of winter, start of spring. Seasons are crazy. That's all I gotta say about that. I drew that line. I was like looking at it here. Hold on, before I go down a path of which I cannot return, let me take stock here. Let me continue drawing other places and see if I can find the right place to put those lines. I don't want it to have the confidence. I hate snow. Oh no, you hate snow? But doesn't it snow a lot where you live? I've never lived in a place that where it snowed. So I've been very fortunate to not have to deal with it. Because I know it's like a real hassle to deal with as far as like mud and driving and all that kind of good stuff that they never show you on the Winter Wonderland postcards. Okay, I think I got it. I think I got that shape. Yeah. Okay, phew. I was like, this is... It's like I caught myself that, the turning point. Like, if I were to have drawn that line in another way, like, the whole thing would have been off. But fortunately, I caught myself. At least I hope I caught myself. It used to snow more, but the last few years we don't get much. It's a pain in the ass. It's beautiful, but it's a nuisance. Yeah, pain in the ass. It's beautiful, but it's a nuisance. You're describing my my college years. Let's see. Okay, I think that's working a little better. Okay, I think that's fine. I think I drew it a little bit too wide. Yeah, I think it's actually a little bit more like that. That little TV shape in the middle. You said I was describing your college? Yeah. Yeah, no, I was joking. I was trying to think of a riff of something that would describe pain in the ass and beautiful but a nuisance, but I couldn't think of anything. So I just said college. Oh, you kind of, how, you're telling me how, like, it took like a couple weeks for your, present to get to, Wavy, and you're like, oh, being like, things are, like, the mail is slow now. Well, she messaged me saying that, like, she checked again and it still hadn't arrived. So at this point, it's like for sure it's been lost somewhere in the mail. Um, somewhere, at the bottom of uh, a postal bag is that little painting I did. But I think, but I am. I told her I'm going to be doing a second version of it, which is good because I can paint it a little bit better, and hopefully it doesn't get lost. I think it was the way. I think it was because I, like, put the postage wrong, and I think it was probably like my error, because a lot of it's like automatically sorted. It like uses scanners and whatnot. I think to read writing, right? So it knows, like, okay, what zip code is it going to, and all that kind of good stuff. And so I think the way I addressed it was just so confusing to the computer. It was just like, we just got to destroy this letter. It's just this should be sent to the incinerator right away. If this letter gets out, it's going to bring down the collapse of the postal service. So, yeah, I mean, at least it's most definitely gone. That sucks. I mean, I can just do another drawing. It's not too bad. The only thing that I feel bad about was like it not arriving, because like her birthday was like 2 months ago. But yeah, it's just par for the course, right? Just kind of take it in stride. Now, if like there was like $1,000 in there, then I'd be kind of like bummed out about that for sure. Yeah. Perhaps priority mail is the best way to go, so at least you can get a tracking number. But then when I sent mine, I didn't get tracked at all, and it was good. Going across the country and tracking ahead was really Philly. It's like, it's in Philadelphia, and now it's in LA. Yeah, maybe priority mail. Just to like, yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I think so. And I use watercolors, which I don't really use a lot, and so I enjoyed, like painting it. So I'm looking forward to painting another one. It'll be fun. Okay. Literally that. I was annoyed with the USPS for that. I really did think it got lost or damaged. Well, you were sending something like well, I don't know. I don't remember what you were sending, but like it was something like with like monetary value, right? It wasn't just like a card or anything. It was like an actual physical object. So yeah, I think if I were sending something like that, I probably would have sprung for the tracking, the priority mail. But I was like, it's just a card. Like, isn't that what they do? Isn't that sort of like their bread and butter? But I guess. But you know what? I don't want to hate on the post office, because I like the post office for some reason. It's just like, it kind of reminds me of the library, It's just kind of like for the people. But a drawing is just as valuable, especially when you get by hand. I'm gonna hate on USPS. Let me do the wording. Okay. go for it. Just hate on USPS. You can totally do it on my behalf. But don't you think it? I don't know. It kind of gives like a library vibe to me, because it's not like for profit. I think is kind of how I see it. It's not like FedEx or UPS where it's like they're trying to make money, right? Like the post office, like they're not trying to make. I mean, they're trying to make. Certain people in the government are trying to make the post office make money, but I think it's at its best when it's just kind of like plodding along, not really knowing what it's doing. It's almost kind of like benevolent in that way. USPS does try to make money, but it's not exactly corporate. But it's not like it tries to make money because it tries to cover its overhead, right? And it's not totally funded, like 100% funded by the government. I thought that was my understanding of like its business. And I personally don't think it should be a business. I think it should be funded by the government. I much prefer FedEx over USPS, and I'm trying to guarantee my stuff will get delivered. Pricing isn't even all that much different now. Yeah, that's fair. like when it really does need to get there, and you have to be sure of it. I don't really use FedEx that much though. I don't know why. Like most of the stuff like I get in the mail or like get delivered, like stuff from Amazon, I think it's either USPS or just Amazon, Amazon themselves. So I don't really encounter FedEx a lot. I drew this ear a little bit too big. My ranking is FedEx, UPS, USPS. I ship and receive a fair amount of stuff through FedEx and sometimes UPS. Oh, really? Yeah, I would say just by default, FedEx would probably be my number one too. Just because I don't really see UPS. It doesn't really seem to have a presence around where I live very much. Like they're not like they're not like an everyday like site. Like I don't see them every day. Like I see FedEx trucks every day. Wasn't there another one like DHL or something? I think is what it was called. UPS is more expensive than FedEx too. DHL, yeah. I think I have received something from DHL. I think I ordered something from like Japan, and it came through DHL. I don't think they're really domestic shippers, but just in general, like, you know, being more expensive, like it's I never really realized how expensive it is to send stuff in the mail. I sold a few fountain pens on eBay, and the shipping alone was like $6 or $7, I think, through eBay. And so yeah, it's kind of like it's not super expensive, but it's also not like, you know, I think twice about sending something. Like, does this person really need a new kidney? Can I just, you know, deliver by car? You do more bulk stuff to warehouses, but you can ship through them. You can ship through DHL. Yeah, I don't know how people sell small items online. Probably just volume, right? They just make it up. Well, but then you would lose money on every item you shipped. 3D printed items on Etsy. How's that profitable? I haven't been on Etsy in a while. Is there a big market for 3D printed items there? And is it like super cheap? I think that's pretty good. I think I mean, just comparing it, you know, my first attempt. This is attempt number 1. Oops. Attempt 1. Attempt 2. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did a little bit better the second time. Cool. Okay. Yeah, I consider getting into it, and I just don't know how it could be profitable or competitive. You have a 3D printer? That'd be pretty cool. I mean, yeah, you'd have to sell. I don't know how expensive. Is 3D printing an expensive sort of business? Like, does it cost a lot to buy the materials? You do? What do you normally print? Like, did you buy it for like a certain purpose, or like did you buy it because like you were interested in like different things? I think I'm a little looser now this year. I don't think this one's gonna turn into a seahorse like that last one did. Kind of like a question mark shape. 3D printing is kind of time consuming and filament isn't super cheap, but you get a lot of it on a roll. You can take hours, days, depending on the size of your 3D print. Unless you have a really fast machine. Makes sense, I guess, yeah. I have no idea how much a 3D printer would cost, to have a good quality one at home. Is it like, I'm guessing like 200, 300, 400? Maybe not 2, maybe 3, closer to 3. 3, 4. $400. To make little model houses and buildings initially, but I've done other stuff with it. Yeah, I think I paid $300 or so for mine. Do you think, was it a good investment on your end? Like, are you pretty satisfied with what you've been able to do with it? Like, model houses, that's kind of cool. Just kind of like as a hobby, like model making, or like for like your work or business. It was a good quality printer for when I bought it. I'm sure there are better ones now, given it's been like 3 or 4 years. I've always been into architecture, so I wanted to make a little model town, but never figured out Blender. Yeah, it's just, yeah, Blender is just like, I mean, computers are kind of like magic to me. Like, I don't really understand. I've never really studied how they work, or like kind of like got into them, but like using Blender is like the more advanced form of magic. But that's cool. Like, you've been into architecture. Was there something like specific like building or structure that got you into it? Like, have you studied it, or like were you going to study it? It seems stressful being an architect, because you're kind of responsible for the building basically not falling down, right? I mean, if you're building like like skyscrapers, right? I mean, oh, well, also like you don't want like a house to fall down too. There was this I forgot, I think it was a YouTube video that I watched about this building in New York City that was built in I think the 1970s, and or no, it was probably earlier. It's probably like the 20s, and they when they made the building, it was like it's a very unique building because like it's a skyscraper, but like it doesn't have a like bottom floor. It just has 4 pillars, I think, as like its base. And so they built it, and when they built it, the construction company instead of welding the metal frames, they bolted them, and as a result, the building was incredibly unsafe because it had like a low wind shear factor, and when the architect guy found out, or when the architect found out what they did, he like did the math and realized that like a really powerful storm could like topple the whole building over, because like it just was not capable of like moving. I think it was like it didn't have any leeway as far as like moving with the wind. And so so it was like literally life or death. Like all these like hundreds and thousands of people in the building were like at risk of dying, because like this building could collapse at any moment. And so what they did was, at night when all the businesses were like shut down, oh yeah, you read the college too? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it was like when I saw that video, or like I forgot if I read an article or if I saw a video, but I was like, that's kind of what you reminded me of. It's like I had no idea like how that architect must have felt the moment that he realized that people's lives were at risk. And I don't think he would have been like he wouldn't have been responsible, because he did everything in a safe way. It was the construction company that like skimmed or cut the corner, right? But like still, it's just like I'm sure he felt that weight of responsibility on his shoulders anyway. I was going to college for it, but they told me I needed a portfolio of stuff. But yeah, I'm glad I didn't get into architecture for the reason you just mentioned. Yeah, having people's lives in your hands like that. The planning and math that goes into building skyscrapers, I could never. How reliant on computers, on programs are architects now? Like, because I don't know, it kind of would be intuitive that like they would rely more on programs to do those kinds of like crazy math calculations, right? Or maybe like the good architects are still doing it like by hand. They're not just like relying on computers. I'm sure they're fairly reliant on programs, and Colt probably are out here using ChatGPT. Oh my gosh, that is a little terrifying. Yeah, like you're gonna like walk into a building and like there's gonna just be some like random like lorem ipsum on the wall. It's like, oh yeah, this is designed by ChatGPT. I, I think about that a lot. It's like, you know, is ChatGPT just like the next like technology breakthrough? Like, you know, I'm sure when like calculators were invented, people are like, oh, you know, you're not using a slide rule anymore. You don't have use for an abacus. You're doing it wrong, you know? Or like when like the internet kind of exploded and everybody had a computer, it's just like, oh, you don't use books anymore? You know, how dare you? I wonder if it's like that kind of thing, or if it's just like entirely different thing altogether. It's more civil engineering, but did you see the bridge collapse? In China, they just built the bridge and it collapsed. I saw the headline, but I didn't look into it. Yeah, wasn't it like a month? Like it was open a month and it collapsed or something? Like what was the story there? Calculator has way less risk. It gives right answers. Chat will give you wrong. I can attest to it. It will give you wrong answers. Yeah, I've only used it a little bit because I don't want to feed the beast, but you can't, like, even like, you know, anytime you Google anything, you'll get like a AI answer, and yeah, definitely have gotten a lot of wrong answers, or like generalized answers, you know. And then like I'll go to like a site and, you know, it has the words, but it just didn't understand the context behind them. That's pretty good. Apparently there were landslides, mudslides around the bridge. People are saying they didn't do their geotesting before the bridge was built to understand stability. Oh, dang. Yeah, like when I saw that headline, I was like, immediately, like someone, like it wasn't just kind of like a freak of nature, like freak accident of nature. It's like someone did not do their job right. I think because like I don't have any idea about the safety protocols in China, but like here, like you really have to triple, quadruple check everything, and you have to submit forms, right? Like attesting that you know, kind of like how like elevators are like rated to withstand like 3 or 4 times the posted weight limit. It's kind of, and like they have like double cables, or like they have a safety cable in case like the first cable snaps. It's kind of like that. And like when I heard that bridge collapsed, I was like, oh, yeah, someone didn't do their job. Yeah, and even if safety checks there are less, I wouldn't want my name attached to a failure like that. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, if like your firm or your company is responsible for that, you're probably gonna not be building bridges anytime soon. Maybe like you pivot to ladders or something, or canals. Someone probably rushed the engineering company to get it done, so they probably cut some corners to get it done on time. Dude, that's crazy. Yeah. And I'm sure that happens a lot. Not just there, but like probably over here too, like all the corners that have been cut. Just for the sake of like getting things done faster, making more money. You could probably drive yourself crazy thinking about like all the things that aren't really safe that we just kind of take for granted as being safe. I think this is coming up pretty well. It's kind of hard to judge because I don't want to take my eyes off of it and lose where I'm following it. Alright, I gotta blink. I wasn't blinking. Your sheep is looking very good. Oh, cool, thank you. Yeah. I wasn't sure. Sometimes it's hard to tell, as you're doing it. But I think this is, yeah, probably a better first attempt than the other one. And I kind of do feel like I've improved a little bit since plate 1. I think my eye for relationships between different parts of the image is a little bit more trained. It's a little at an angle. Oops. You agree? Yeah. Who would have who would have thought practicing would pay off? Okay. Well, actually, yeah. Let me make the darks a little bit more dark. And I think we'll be done with this one. Cool. I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, so these ones over here, like I don't really have a plan for. Let me divide this. Oops. Oops. I just drew a big line over it. Okay, so select, remove. Okay. I don't know if these are supposed to be like done in a faster way than the other ones, because like they're a lot smaller. Maybe it's just like about seeing the chunks of shadow, you know. Maybe that's kind of like the main emphasis for this portion of the plate. Okay, so yeah, I think I'll try to just focus on that, just find the big shapes of shadow. Saw a picture of a biscuit. Yeah, no, I want to make biscuits at 1 a.m. Do it. What kind of biscuits? These ears have a lot more, or have more tones of shadow. Like this is one tone. This is like another half tone. Right here, or actually right here. That's fair, yeah. I do have the store version of the Red Lobster Delicious Biscuits. I might make them this weekend if I'm not too lazy. Dude, that sounds good. I think I'm gonna have some cereal later. I don't even understand the first ear. It doesn't look like an ear. What, the one I'm drawing? It's kind of like folded. Like it kind of like, it's kind of like that, I think. This does sort of like resemble like a ink blot test, because it's just kind of like splashes of ink on a piece of paper, or splotches, I guess I should say. The plate version. Oh, it's looking at the ear from an angle, just kind of behind the ear, not straight on. Oh yeah. I think that's what it is. Like, if someone were like standing, like I was facing this way and someone were standing here. Yeah. But it's almost like you don't want to like see the ear, right? Like you want to, or at least I'm trying to see the splotches and see the shape that the splotches make, and just kind of like follow that. Exactly. Oh, you know what? I was thinking today. About, okay, so you know how you recently got a new job, right? Is that like, does that mean like your schedule is gonna be like different? Like, are you still gonna be pulling all nighters, or like do you have to like clock in at a certain hour and whatnot? Like what is the change for like your schedule? Same job, just permanent employers, contractors, so schedules changing. In fact, it gets better. Oh, nice. How does it get better? Other than like the vacation. I mean, the vacation's like good enough, right? Getting paid vacation is really, really, really good. Company gives holiday in summer hours, so on Fridays you get half a day off. Dude, nice. but I wasn't getting this perk as a contractor. Dude, nice. What are you gonna be doing with your newfound freedom? I used to work a job for county government, and they had 4-10 schedules, right? So working 4 days a week, 10 hours, and then we would get every other Friday off, and it was just such a good schedule. Such a good, like, it felt like finding an oasis in the desert, like being able to like not go in every single day. Could be naps, could be gaming, but yeah, I would rather work 4-10s, but it should be every Friday off if you work. Or maybe, yeah, you're right, but I wasn't getting every Friday off, so I wonder what it was like. What I it's been a long time, so I forgot how exactly they did it. But it was, yeah, it was like every other Friday. So I guess it wasn't like 4-10s in a very strict sense. How did? Yeah, now that you mention it, like I don't remember how they how we did it. Think about it. 40 hours is a standard. Yeah, 40 hours is a standard work week. Yeah, we definitely did not get every Friday off though. I hope they weren't getting more time out of you then. No, no. It was legit. But I just like my memory for like details like that is just not there. Like I don't hold on to. I don't hold on to that kind of information. I just kind of like I experience it and then I let it go. I experience it and then I let it go. But yeah, every other Friday is off. Super nice. So yeah, I'm happy that you're getting half days on Fridays. That's really cool. You got the world on a silver platter. You can do whatever you want. When it involves my vacation, I remember. True. I didn't work there for that long. Maybe like a year. Um, but it was just too. It involved a lot of public face-to-face contact, and it was just way too stressful for me. Like I learned a lot about myself in that job, and I learned that like I do not thrive when it comes to public contact or being in those kind of like public facing positions. Yeah, I definitely understand that. Mm. Yeah, it was just, and actually, that job was the reason why. Well, it was part of the reason, but it was like that made me realize, like, oh, like something is going on with my brain, and that's when I went to a psychiatrist, and they're like, and I was like, I think I have anxiety because I have some friends who have anxiety, and I asked them like, hey, I think I have anxiety. Is it normal to get like a racing heart, like to go outside to check the mail? And they're like, oh no, that's not normal. And so, yeah, that job was just like constant all day, like heart racing, small like anxiety attacks. And so I was just like, I can't, like, I'm gonna just be miserable. Like, if I stay here, I'm just gonna be miserable all the time. So yeah, I had to leave. But it was like if I could have done that job, it was like really nice because it was very stable, and like my supervisor was nice. Um, and so like it was just like a really nice place to work. But yeah, I couldn't stick around. Yeah, a job that stresses you out like that is not the business. Yeah, and it was almost like it was hard to leave that job too because like it was such a good commute. It was like 15 minutes away from my house, and like I could get there like super early. Um, Not that I did. I don't think I ever got there early, but I could have. And yeah, it was just like really kind of nice environment, but yeah, I just had to leave. Some things are just not worth the paycheck. Definitely not worth your health though. Mm-hmm. Yeah. What's kind of like been my experience is that um like a lot of the jobs I've had have been like public facing because they've been kind of like entry level, and so it was kind of like a revelation to be like, oh, like, you know it's not normal to be feeling this way. Like, other people don't really feel this way. um And then I when I was at that job, I went on medication for anxiety and depression. And I was like eye-opening, because it was like, oh wow, I can go through a day and not feel like this kind of panic every time I go outside, and the neighbors see me and I have to talk to them, and what am I going to talk about? But yeah, sometimes I'm like, I don't think I'm suited for any kind of specific work. Like I don't think I've ever like had a passion for like doing any kind of like work or being in any kind of field. Some people are just like, oh, like this is what I've always wanted to be, and I became it. Like I've never really had that certainty about anything. This is already looking off. I think it's a little too big. Okay, let me readjust this. Start over. I drifted into my current career and my last career as well. Yeah, I feel like I'm a drifter. I'm not a drifter. But I do feel like I drift a lot in life, which I don't know how I feel about it. Yeah, on one hand, I'm kind of like, it's helped me to feel like not just part of the mainstream, right? Like being able to like think about things and examine things in a different way. But also at the same time, it's not really the most financially stable position to be in. Many people change careers multiple times. Very few people stay with the thing they might have wanted to do first. That's true. Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, it's but like, I don't know, do people normally like completely change careers, or is it like different positions but within the same field. You know what I mean? Because I feel like my job history has just been like completely like changing, like from doing this to like being in a completely different field, and you know, the two are not related. It varies. Some people completely change careers and some sort of drift into a role that is an extension of work they have done before. Neither of those types of changes are unusual. Yeah. Do you feel like your job is like, you know, where you're gonna be at for a good period of time? Like, do you have that sense of stability? Because that's like, you know, that I think that's kind of rare for a lot of people, especially like, you know, like younger people, like not having that really sense of like, okay, this is what I'm going to be doing for like the next 10 years or so. And, you know, of course, like people change careers, you know, voluntarily as well, right? To make money, to make more money, or you know, to move to different places. I want it to be. I don't know if it will be because AI and the competition in my career space. Oh man. Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of scary because it's like AI is just like advancing so quickly. But I hope it is. I hope it works out for you. Some people change careers because they just realized that what they thought they wanted to do wasn't what they really wanted to do. You can be passionate about something and still not doing it, crazy as it may sound. No, yeah, that doesn't sound crazy. You know, it's kind of like the difference between travel or vacationing and traveling to someplace versus like living there, you know? Like, you know, for example, like people like traveling to Japan and like because they like Japanese culture, but you know, living in Japan, like I've seen like a handful of like YouTube videos of like people describing like how horrible the experience is actually living there. And so yeah, like yeah, just because you're passionate doesn't mean like you're going to be enjoying doing that like 8 to 12 hours a day, you know, 5 days a week for years. You can kind of go crazy that way. That's kind of how I feel also about like drawing. Like even if I were skilled at, you know, even if I were at a point where I was skilled enough to make a career out of it, right? Just hypothetically, I don't think I would enjoy doing that because you know, when I finish drawing, like I just kind of feel like satisfied but like not seeing myself doing it for like 8 hours, you know? Like it just takes a different kind of mentality to grind it out in a job. Yeah, I couldn't be a full-time musician. I would hate it. Yeah, exactly, yeah. So I have to be careful to balance my hobbies, not let them feel like work. That's interesting. I don't want to feel obligated to do stuff I really like doing. Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know if I've ever gotten to that point of like feeling like what I'm doing as a hobby is like becoming work. I'm trying to think like if I've done anything like that seriously. Maybe like I used to make YouTube videos, and like just editing the videos would take hours, right? Because that's just kind of like the nature of editing, and that definitely felt like work. But like it was work I enjoyed, right? Like I never did it enough to feel like dreading doing it. But yeah, I could totally see like getting to that headspace where you're like, you know, I don't want to be doing this hobby. Like I want to be doing something else, right? Like let's say I started a business composing music for others. I don't want to be obligated to have to get up and finish a song because I'm on someone else's time. Yeah, I feel you. Yeah, it takes the enjoyment out of it. It's more stress. Yeah, that's true. It's just like they say, money is the root of all evil. Can't live with it, can't live without it. Well, actually, we can't live with money. It's actually a lot easier to live with money. Similarly, I was in a band that switched from a jam band to wanting to record an album, and I didn't want that. I just wanted to play stuff spontaneously, not record and play the same songs until they were polished. Oh, so you were like very kind of like principled about it, like you were like right away aware, like I'm not gonna, like this is what I want out of it, and if we make that transition, then I'm not going to get that anymore. That's good though that you like understood that about yourself, right? I sort of had like a falling out with some friends of mine along a similar situation where we had a gaming group, an online gaming group that like we would play like once a week, and like this was like went on for years, and we started recording it to like make into a podcast, our gaming sessions, and like I just wanted it to be like very casual, very low key, just kind of like basically put some mics in front of us and record whatever goes on. But other people in the group wanted it to be more like professional and basically better organized, very kind of like focused on growing the game as a like growing our sessions as a product, right, to release. Yeah, it just got to the point where like I didn't like being with those people. and like, yeah, because like we didn't ever really do that well, and so then people started blaming others, and I was just like I just wanted to, do something casual, and now it's turned into this, and so I just left. I was like, yeah, this isn't fun anymore. I went to a jam band. I didn't want to be a session musician. If I want to record music, I can do that on my own. Yeah, I mean, not everybody has the same goal in music, right? Or in any kind of art. I get where you're coming from on that gaming stuff. I had a similar situation. Did it blow up in everyone's face, and did the group disband? Because that's kind of what happened. Well, the group did. Well, I don't know if the group, like, it was in a Discord, and I just left the Discord. So I don't know if they're still playing, but we did disband, but not primarily for that reason. However, a few years back, a friend of mine started streaming here, and I wasn't really comfortable with having my gameplay be shared with random people at the time. So did, like he just like one day like put everyone on stream, or like that was like his plan, like he wanted to stream, and you were just like, I'm not comfortable with that? And the other interesting part about it is, I kind of thought about them as like friends, because like I knew them in real life. Like we like live near each other, more or less. And then like some people moved further away, and so that's why we started doing online gaming. But it was just kind of like, when I left, it was like, oh, like actually they didn't really know anything about me. Like I didn't know anything. I didn't really, it wasn't really friends. It was just kind of like gaming buddies. And and it wasn't really. I wasn't devastated. I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like, it wasn't like my best friends stopped talking to me or that type of thing. It was just like, oh, like, I recognize now the measure of the friendship, and it wasn't like that deep, which is fine. You know, like, not all friendships are gonna be soul bearing. Yeah, it turned into wanting to stream almost all the time, and the problem I also had was that they would usually have played a game before me, so I looked like a scrub every time we played something, so I was constantly trying to catch up and feeling embarrassed. At least it wasn't a deep friendship. You lost the podcast for basically not huge life, you just went on your way. Yeah. But I guess the surprising thing was like, it wasn't deep, even though like we had played together for like, I don't know, like it was like 6 or 7 years, you know, which is like a long time to talk to someone but not know anything about them. Yeah, it's just kind of like a weird kind of dynamic. But yeah, I mean, I can totally get what you're saying, like feeling like everyone else is, you know, has a certain knowledge or like, you know, a certain experience with the game, and you're just like, especially if like they're not like particularly going out of the way to be helpful about, you know, catching you up. I think that it also can play a role in any kind of group where it's like, you know, if no one's bothering to explain things to you, it's like, do I really want to be playing with these people? Six years of playing but not knowing each other on a deep level. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, probably the thing that I miss most actually is just actually playing, like gaming, like, because we would play tabletop games like D&D and like games like that. It was just like, that's, you know, I don't really miss necessarily the people. I just miss playing. I think that says a lot about why I stuck in that group for so long. That's for sure. Yeah, I forgot how we started talking about this topic. Oh yeah. Hobbies turning into work. Yeah. Well, I hope your job is stable and you have that sense of stability, because that's a really good feeling. You feel like you're on top of the world when you feel like you're on that kind of like solid footing, that solid foundation. Yeah. I'm crossing my fingers for you. I just tried to smudge. I just tried the smudge tool and just that did not work out. Yeah, smudge tool said nah. The smudge tool says, "Oh, you wanna smudge? I'll show you a smudge." Too good at his job. Too efficient. Okay, I can kind of see where I was going with this one. It's okay. Actually, I think what saved it was just me going over with white. Basically erasing. Um, you know. Which, erasing's not cheating, but for some reason it feels like it is for me. also have a habit of like drawing too many. I forgot what they're called, like ghost lines or like kind of like starter lines, right? And just like putting too much down on the image and just kind of like making it more muddied. I'm like side-eyeing it. There looks nice. Good, really good grasp of the shadings too. Oh, thank you. Yeah, they just sort of like threw shading into this plate. It's just like, okay, like, you know, shade. I feel like this isn't like just kind of like two tones. Like this is like 3, 4, 5 different tones of like black, you know, which is a little bit harder to make them distinguishable from each other. Can't really tell if I'm done with this one. Something about the sort of like the ear canal opening doesn't really look. It looks a little off. Like the ear canal opening, and then this hold on, I'll change colors. This line that leads down sort of looks off to me. Maybe it's a little too far out. Maybe it's a little bit too in. Like it needs to be a little bit further. It needs to be a little bit slanted down more. Maybe? Yeah, I think so. I think this one's gonna be my last one for tonight. And I'm gonna call it a day. So I don't think I can. There's 4 left. Yeah, I don't think I can finish that. The drawing ears was deceptively more time consuming than I thought it would be. Put in some good practice time. Yeah, how long? 2.5 hours. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, I'm glad about that too, because one of the reasons why I wanted to stream was to be more accountable for practicing, and I feel like that, like, I do feel more I wouldn't say obligated, but more, I guess, more of an incentive to practice. Incentivized, I guess, is the word. Yes, incentivize, yeah. Yeah, I think if I could, I would. Like, I'm not planning on streaming Friday through Sunday, just because my schedule is like less predictable those days. But I think if I could, I think I would, just for the sake of getting more practice in. I was like, what was that noise? It's starting to rain harder now. Okay, I don't think I'm improving the quality of this drawing. I think I'm just kind of undoing some of my work here. That's good. That means you're liking the stream. Yeah, yeah. No, I am definitely. Yes, it's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun chatting and even kind of like the hard parts of like figuring out OBS and getting the settings right. Like I find that enjoyable too. Just kind of like tinkering with things and experimenting and seeing what works and seeing what doesn't work. Um, yeah, even that part's fun too. And like of course like drawing, just in general is always a good time for me. Oops. Okay, I think I'm gonna stop there. I'm starting to see double. I'm starting to see double ears. I don't know how I feel about this one, but I think next time I stream, I'll come back and I'll have fresh eyes, and I'll examine it then. I'll evaluate it when I'm like fresh. Because I think I don't know, like I think I'm almost there with it, but then like it kind of like vanishes, but then it's there again, and yeah, it's just the whole thing. But yeah. Dude, thank you for hanging out. Thank you for chatting. W Chicana, goated Chicana for sure. Yes. W stream, thank you. Cereal time. Either cereal or I have some Eggo waffles. I mean, basically I have a buffet waiting for me. A buffet with 2 items, but still, that's it's like Thanksgiving has already come 2 weeks ahead. Yeah, waffles, dude. I'm excited. I had them this morning for breakfast, but what's another round for dinner too? Oh, you know how like last stream I was like playing music from Spotify? A bunch of the songs were obviously copywritten, but like I tried uploading that video to YouTube, and it was just like, nah, it's just too much. There's too many copywritten songs on this, so I'm gonna try it again, but I didn't. I guess I didn't anticipate it to be like just totally blocked. Like this cannot be shown. So yeah, it might be more reason to look into the audio. You know, like getting different audio channels for the music and whatnot. But I don't know. I kind of also feel lazy about setting up my audio and stream and whatnot. I have to figure out a way to show you what you need to do. No, it's you don't have to go out of your way. I appreciate it. And it's not like that. I don't want your help. It's just like I'm just the lazy variable in that equation. I was just like, can I be bothered, or should I just play like royalty free music like I have on right now? Just kind of like what I have been playing. I haven't got any copyrights from that, so I know it works. But yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. I don't know if you can hear the rain. It's raining super hard now. It's kind of cool. All right, dude. Thank you so much again. Goated. For sure. I don't know when I'm gonna stream next. Probably be Monday. I don't think I'll have time this weekend or tomorrow. But yeah, I'll see you around. Take care, and yeah, have a good weekend. Bye.